Hey, comic book fans. Today we're talking about Something is Killing the Children, issue 1. The first reveal was actually issue 0, but this series intrigued me enough to want to read more, and this book did just that yet again, and we're going to go through it. Now, I'm probably the last person on earth that hasn't read this series yet, but I'm very excited to talk about it. And it starts out with this sleepover with these kids. Obviously they're being trifling, and they're doing the I dare you, and the other obvious games and stuff like that, and telling each other scary stories. But with the main character in this story amongst these kids, he tells a story about how something was outside of his house, and he hid under the blankets and turned off the lights. Told a very I would say spooky and intriguing story for people around their ages, and obviously they didn't believe him. But after the story and where the location was, the ravine, he gets them to go down there, right? He's like, oh yeah, like y'all don't think anything's down there or anything can be legit? All right then. And that's when he pulls the I dare you, no, the truth or dare in this situation. And after he does the truth or dare, it cuts to him with blood on his shirt in an interrogation room. So just by that alone, without any words, we know something went horribly wrong. And he's talking to this guy, and he's pretty much going like, I didn't see anything, I just heard something, I just heard stuff out there. And he kept saying over and over again that his story that he told them was fake. It actually didn't happen, even though he was trying to make it come across as reality. And he was like, it was supposed to be a fake story. Like, I didn't legit think something like this was going to happen or something like that was possible. And we cut to 2 weeks later, and where issue 0 took place, where she dealt with the first monster and the little girl. We know what happens in that story. So they're giving us a specific timeline on when she dealt with the first monster and helped the first kid out, and where the second kid is going to take place. Her migrating from one area to the other. One thing I feel like I'm going to continue saying this about this story is that it has a very low tone to it. And what I mean by that is, you're getting this action, right? Horror and stuff is happening, but it's very smooth. It doesn't feel heavy, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel, like something is weighing on you. It's very smooth with how the story's being told and what they're actually showing and what they're not showing you. And even though nothing particularly happens in the story besides the tragedy and us following this boy, it's still an intriguing story. And we have this part here where this kid, for some reason, thinks that he was able to nuke all these kids by himself, which is stupid, but he's a kid. He thinks that he hurt all those kids and he nuked them by himself. And because one of the boys there would never actually get with him, that he decided to take his head off. And as you're reading it, you're like, okay, I get, he's trying to out him as being gay, right? But then it's just like, do you honestly think that he physically would be able to do that by himself? And he barks back at him and tells him to, shut the fuck up, right? At, pretty much screaming at him is what is being relayed to us. But this is the one weird part of the story, because this black guy sitting here, he's supposed to be the principal's office. But this guy is mentally not fit for this job. As I was reading this, I was expecting something different. But as you're reading it, you realize that the principal, he's not fit for this job. He's not fit for this position at all whatsoever. And you can laugh at it, or you can just be really weirded out by that entire back and forth he had with the boy, which it comes across as empathetic, but then it's just like, bro, just stop talking at the same time. And we are met back when she goes from one area to the other. She makes it here in like 1 or 2 bus rides. And the kid's talking to his father, and obviously they don't live in the same place. He lives like in a hotel now, or like that's where he's staying at. And it's very, I would definitely say it's very hard for the parents in the situation. All his kids are gone and his. But this part is what's funny to me, right? She just walks up to him. He's like, "Hey, you gonna hurt me?" She says, "Probably not." But then she always has this look in her eye. I've noticed this reading this series. She always has this crazy look in her eye. And even though she's very soft and she knows how to handle situations with the victims, she always has this psychotic eye when she's, just looking at him. And I don't think she's doing it purposely. Right? I don't think she's trying to come across as crazy at all. It's just how she naturally looks. And one thing that she, gets about him is that she knows he did not tell the police everything, right? She said, "Tell me what you saw." But he says he didn't see anything. So he actually tells her what he saw. And what he saw was all these kids getting absolutely slaughtered. And he, after seeing everybody, the boy himself tries to get out of there, but he himself is unfortunate enough to physically see the monster himself. And it's this like large, I would say morally spider-like in appearance. Like it's a monster definitely, but morally spider-like in its form. And I don't know how she's gonna do this. This thing looks big, it looks massive, and looks horrifying, just by the physical description of it. And so after he's done telling her what he actually saw, right? Because he didn't tell nobody else, she pretty much tells him, "Yeah, like you have a monster in your woods, and I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna take it out myself." And that's when the boy asks, "Can he come with?" I think he's asking that because he has guilt of what happened, but we would have to see. But there's a part 2 to this. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.